With the recent changes to bonus elements, the redistributor took a hit. If you guys didn't know, the redistributor got bonus chains and bonus amp damage with bonus elements. Everybody running around with a Sentinel Cryo redistributor was unintentionally taking advantage of this bug in one way or another, but you know, that doesn't really matter. What does matter is the redistributor took a huge hit, and the drone and barrier boyos want to know the best way to play Zane without it. So today I'm showing you guys my best drone barrier Zane build. We're also going to be talking about how to get through the Guardian takedown with this build, the crystals, a lot of the weapons you can run now. I actually have 4 specific weapons I like to play with that you guys are probably seeing some of in this background footage here. But with that being said, let's pretty much just hop straight into it. Before we get into it, if you guys don't mind liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more Borderlands 3 videos, it would really help me out. But with that being said, let's hop straight into the gear and the skill trees. Now, this is a pretty straightforward See and Dead barrier drone Zane build. You see we got ready for action, brain freeze, confident competence. In the blue tree, we have 5 points into cool hand and 5 points into violent violence. In this setup, you guys should prioritize these skills right here, max them out. This is really gonna help our mobbing. We don't really need that many points into playing dirty. I have 3 from my class mod. I only actually stuck 4 points into this for the skill tree. You don't need that many points because we're playing See and Dead, and we're really only using this for launchers, for bossing, and yeah. Hopping over to the red tree, we got to Supersonic Man. The main question is why only 2 points into Synchronicity, and that's because this skill is just gun damage. We have a bunch of points into Donnybrook, 5 points that I spent in the skill tree. On top of that, we also have Violent Momentum, and even while we're on the topic of gun damage, we also have Confident Competence. So, like, you know, by not sticking 3 points into here, we're really not missing out on that much gun damage when it's only additive with our other gun damage bonuses. And on top of that, I really do just think throwing a grenade every 8 seconds is better than this gun damage. We will trigger our 25% on grenade throw, we will get more recurring hexes out there, or piss grenades even, if that's what you want to run, which you can. And that is pretty much it for the skill trees. Now let's hop straight into the gear. These are the 4 weapons that I am running nowadays for the drone and the barrier. Just element match, like right now I have on this corrosive Anarchy, but in some of the Maliwan Takedown footage, you guys saw me using a shock Anarchy with the transformer. But just element match wherever you are. I also use the radiation light show for the Maliwan Takedown. But you know, we want the shock one for the Guardian takedown. We want the fire one for the Necrotafeo mobs we're about to fight. And then besides that, we've got the monarch, once again, just element match. And finally, the backburner. These 4 weapons carry me through all the content in the game pretty much. You don't even just have to use the backburner for mobbing. You can toss out a couple shots if mobs group up together. Or I'm sorry, you don't just have to use this for bossing. But this is by far one of the best bossing weapons, especially when paired with our Snowdrift with AoE on it. And keep in mind, you only need a Snowdrift with AoE. It doesn't have to be a Victory Rush. It doesn't have to have movement speed. Snowdrift with AoE is the best bossing artifact by far. But for mobbing, we are using the Icebreaker. Now, when it comes to the Icebreaker, you do want to find AoE. That helps out our Anarchy, but neither of these weapons are splash, so you can find all types of bonuses. You see mine also has cryo damage, and that is the main theme in the gear. We're looking for the most other types of gun damage other than gun damage. So Icebreaker is considered V2, Victory Rush is considered V1, we have Elemental, we have Splash. On our class mod, we have crit. We are maximizing our types of damage bonuses as much as possible. And I want to point one thing out that I never did before. I actually keep like 5 or 6 See and Deads on me at all time with all types of different damage bonuses. And I really want to point out that these top rolls do not matter. I see a ton of people always asking for See and Deads with 5 in Donnybrook. That means nothing. You are looking for these bottom rolls. Like, Donnybrook gives you gun damage, which, if you guys notice, I skimped on that in the Synchronicity. That's why we didn't take Synchronicity, because it's just gun damage. Well, Donnybrook is also just gun damage. It is a bit stronger than synchronicity, but at the same time, like, you are really looking for these bottom rolls. Like, you guys really should not focus on the top rolls. You really want to find the most bottom rolls as possible and pair those with whatever guns you're holding. Now, when it comes to the shield, I love rocking the transformer, and that's mainly because I actually like using the shock anarchy. I will throw it at my feet sometimes, or even if I'm just using it in general, like that reload on the anarchy is honestly pretty deadly. So you got to be careful when using it, or use a shock anarchy with a transformer. But otherwise, for the highest damage on our fast firing weapons, you're going to want to rock an old god. Once again, this is an elemental bonus, so this is just another type of damage that can help you out a lot. But for the most part, I just like wearing the transformer. And then finally for the grenade, your two options are the piss grenade or the hex grenade. The piss grenade gives you, once again, a debuff, another type of damage bonus, so this is great. But the hex grenade can freeze enemies because it can crit naturally, and that will actually freeze enemies with brain freeze, triggering your icebreaker, but so you don't have to freeze them yourself, and you'll get that full damage bonus for the whole fight. And besides that, that is it for the skill trees and the gear. Let's talk about Mayhem modifiers quickly. I generally just avoid the Mayhem modifiers that take away my damage. Also avoid some of the really annoying Mayhem modifiers, like boundary issues and stuff like that. Like, I cannot play with boundary issues ever again. It's so annoying. Otherwise, for very hard, I will run postmortem or buddy system. It really just depends what build I'm on. Since we have the barrier protecting us, I don't mind running roguelite, but some of you guys might dislike roguelite, and yeah. And with all that said and done, let's just go hop into the Guardian Takedown. A lot of you guys want to know how to beat the crystal phases. But we are just gonna mob through these Necrotafeo bugs, and then we are gonna get onto the crystals, and I will show you guys how I do that with this setup. And it might not be how you guys actually think I do it with this setup, but there is a pretty defined meta when it comes to soloing Guardian Takedown on Zane. But we will cross that path when we get there. Let me take out these Necro bugs real quick, and I will probably just fast forward this to that part. Okay, so here we are fighting some Guardians. Keep in mind this is on true takedown mode. Now, I just want to show you guys some footage of us shredding through some of these guys. Basically, we have enough damage in this build to kill these guys. But I think the main issue that most people are having with the Guardian Takedown is the crystal phases, especially with the drone barrier setups. Sometimes I think about playing on big head mode just to get the quicker freezes off. Dude, it's hard to shoot someone in the face when 12 of their friends are kicking you away from them. But it is what it is. Bro, we're in a fight. We're not in gymnastics class. These guys think they're like some sort of Olympic athletes or something. Now, these guys genuinely just kind of take a lot of ammo to go through. I really recommend keeping any cut purse on you. And once you get down to the last dude, refill with the cut purse. All right, we are down to the last Guardian. Like I said, literally just toss on a cut purse. I'll even punch this guy. For those of you that don't have a launch pad, you just want to refill your ammo before you start the crystals. You don't want to have any ammo issues. And this is a long raid. When you're going at it solo especially, there is no shame in using a cut purse to refill on ammo. And one thing that's awesome is I like using the Anarchy. So I'm going to take this opportunity to stack up an Anarchy, and then I'm going to cut purse that guy and refill. Alrighty, so we are about to start the crystals, and I got one simple trick that doctors will hate to make these crystal phases easy, and it's really simple, guys, and it is switch over to the digiclone. Now, I know you guys like drone barrier, that's why you came to this video, that's why you're on this build, but a serious point I'm about to make is if you want to solo, and I'm talking about specifically solo, the Guardian Takedown, there's no better option than the clone. The Guardians literally push your crystals, and what they do to you is you just have to keep them off of the crystals. Now, what we're gonna watch here, and the point I wanna make is we're not using double barrel. I think you guys don't like double barrel because you don't want to be carried by the clone. You wanna be doing the damage, and we are gonna be doing all the damage. We didn't even take any clone skills, none of that. We have one trick to keep our clone alive, and that is a transformer and a backburner. So I am gonna summon my clone with the transformer on. Let's put my drone out as well. Let's actually get some ammo real quick so I can switch back to my icebreaker. All right. And now clone is just gonna chill right there. See how he's distracting the Guardians? And this is my whole point. Like, you know, I love running drone barrier, especially on the Maliwan Takedown. But in the Guardian Takedown, there is no better option than to run the clone to distract the Guardians. And the more like Guardians that get in your crystal area, the worse it is for you. So you really just want to take these guys out. And you can see my Anarchy's putting in a lot more work than the light show was, and that's because of our splash bonuses. But look, our clone just chills there, and we got this crystal done. And it really is like that simple. And that is what you guys want to do in the Guardian Takedown. Now, another cool thing I want to point out is if these guys do happen to get our shield down, all we have to do is throw our Anarchy at our feet. We will get topped off active again, and we will summon our clone again. And he keeps all the Guardians literally outside of our crystal. Like, see how he distracts them? This is seriously like the defined meta for Guardian Takedown. We're not using double barrel. You know what I mean? Like, he's not carrying our damage. We are killing Guardians just fine by our own means, using this Anarchy at least. And that's just the point I wanted to make to you guys. And definitely consider just running the clone for the crystal phases. As soon as these crystal phases are over, I'm going to put them away. You know what I mean? And this is a solid crystal phase. This is currently an unedited run of the crystals at least. Let's go ahead and swap them over there. This one's going to be done in a second. There you go. And just look how, like, just potent he is in distracting Guardians. So I'm going to let him die. We're going to fill up our shield so we can get topped off active. And we're going to have to hold these guys off until we get clone back up. And you guys notice clone is right back up because we're using transformer and topped off. So there's our clone. Put him back out. And this is true takedown, by the way. Seriously. M10 true Guardian Takedown using drone and a clone. And these crystal phases are way easier. Now, you could do this with drone barrier, but you'll be forced to juggle the crystal phases. And clone's not perfect. We got a couple guys coming for us anyway. But he does a real good job of distracting the Guardians for the most part. Like, it made our life really easy on those first two crystals. And there we go. Now we just gotta fend off a couple of these side guys. And that's gonna be it. And this crystal's gonna be done very soon. And yeah. So we will probably fast forward to this crystal being completed. You guys can see we have this under control pretty much. I'll probably fast forward to the Anathema boss fight. And there we have it. So, like, seriously, guys, and look, our clone went down. I'm gonna toss my barrier right back on. This is a drone barrier setup. Like, seriously, you know what I mean? And you can see we shred through Guardians with the Anarchy. I didn't want to focus all the gameplay on the Anarchy, though. But it seriously is one of my favorite shotguns right now. And I will see you guys at the Anathema boss fight. Alrighty, here we are going into the Anathema boss fight. Now, I really do recommend using the Corrosive Backburner and a Snowdrift. Now, don't worry about flying off the edge because we actually have these walls. So you can't really Snowdrift off the edge. What I will say is just worry about not killing yourself with the Backburner. Especially me right now because I have on Roguelite. So if I down myself with a Backburner, that's going to be it. But yeah, we basically just slide and shoot the Backburner. And I wasn't really aiming right there. You don't even have to slide all the time. And you can see it does a bunch of damage to her. And we'll use Groundbreaker to finish off that phase. And you guys see, like, we will have this under control pretty easily. But I'm going to go ahead and finish the fight. I'll probably edit through a lot of this. Oops. Alright, I just don't want to kill myself with the Backburner. There we go. Oof. And that was an F with Roguelite. That was a slight mistake on my part. But the Guardian Takedown's really long, and I don't feel like running it again. So I'm going to cut the video right there. But you guys see, if I didn't make, that was a user error, and I'm also running Roguelite. If I didn't make that mistake, we could have gotten through that boss fight just fine. So I showed off the damage, the playstyle. I wanted to give you guys as many tips and tricks because a lot of people talk about the Guardian Takedown. They want to see Guardian Takedown footage of these builds. So there you guys have it. That is my personal best drone barrier Zane build. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for more Borderlands 3 videos. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.